This video is closed captioned. Ecuador is a diverse country that often gets overlooked for travel, but it has a great deal to offer. Ecuador is small but has a solid infrastructure that makes travel and getting around a breeze. Tropical weather, low costs, thermal spa pools, rainforests, volcanic landscapes, delicious local cuisine, and friendly locals are just a few reasons you should consider adding Ecuador to your next Latin American itinerary. And, as with all travel, there are specific nuances to visiting Ecuador, and arming yourself with knowledge is the best way to ensure a fantastic trip. Join us as we walk you through some of the most important do's and don'ts of visiting Ecuador. We'll start with the things you should do while in Ecuador. Get your greetings right. First impressions are essential to Ecuadorians. The way you greet others highlights your education and the level of respect that you carry for others. Greetings shift and demonstrating close relationships as you get to know someone better. Men may embrace or pat their male friends on the shoulder, and women will often kiss each other on the cheek once to show familiarity. When meeting someone in Ecuador, a handshake and a smile are common. Make sure to maintain direct eye contact, as this is the most respectful way to introduce yourself to someone. And brush up on your basic Spanish greetings, because hello or hola alone won't be enough. Reference the time of day to round out your greeting. Good morning or good day. Buenos dias. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Good evening. Buenas noches. Use basic honorifics if you know some Spanish. Unlike many English-speaking countries, Ecuadorians are rarely on a first-name basis with people they don't know very well. To respect this cultural viewpoint, use basic honorifics when addressing people, and always defer to the Ecuadorian to best understand how a conversation should go. If they use your first name, it gives you the right to do the same. Basic honorifics are as follows: Mr., Senor, Mrs., Senora, Miss, Senorita. Prepare for higher altitudes. Quito sits just under 10,000 feet above sea level. At this height, elevation can quickly put a damper on your trip. Give yourself some time to get used to the higher altitude. Everyday activities like exploring the city, using the stairs, or exercising might leave you short of breath. And while this elevation is generally safe enough that you won't need to worry about altitude sickness, familiarize yourself with the signs and symptoms and be prepared to move to a lower elevation if you're severely impacted. Carry small bills and cash in addition to credit cards. Many hotels offer personal safes in your room, so when possible, leave some of your money and documents in the safe. Traveling with a couple of credit cards and smaller cash denominations is better. You carry a less financial risk if you're targeted for theft or pickpocketing. Cash is also best for payments, as not all vendors will be set up to take credit cards. Quito is mainly cash only, and vendors may still have difficulty breaking large bills. If you enjoy our videos, join us on our journey worldwide by subscribing to our channel. Please click the bell icon to get notified when we publish a new video. Pack clothing for a variety of temperatures. Depending on where you are, you can expect a variety of temperatures, even as close as you are to the equator. In Quito, for example, average nighttime temperatures dip below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so don't assume you'll only want revealing clothing to bask in the warmth. Light jackets and other items of clothing that can be layered are great additions to your suitcase. Use public transportation. Traffic is an issue in major cities such as the port city of Guayaquil or the capital, Quito. In ancient cities like Quito, streets cover the gamut of narrow one-way streets and more modern grid structures. Tunnels and bridges operate as expressways, and getting stuck on one that takes you in the opposite direction you are planning is pretty easy. Sporadic travel tools like stop signs and signals add to the chaos. So, unless you're traveling between cities, public transportation is the least stressful way to travel. You'll want to keep an eye on your belongings, as petty theft targeting tourists can happen on buses. But for intelligent, aware travelers, public transportation is relatively safe. It's also the cheapest way to navigate the cities. Use bug spray if traveling outside Quito. If you're sticking around Ecuador's capital, Quito, you won't need bug spray. The city is perched at a high enough elevation that mosquitoes are not an issue. But if you descend and travel outside Quito, you'll be glad to have some. You can apply bug spray to your clothing, but it will wear off quickly. So, you'll need to be vigilant with your reapplication to avoid getting eaten alive. Embrace getting an early start. Getting going early in the day will always help you maximize your time. You can usually beat the crowds, whether you want the early entrance to a museum or some quieter time to explore a cultural heritage site. It's also the best time to see wildlife with birds and other animals starting their days with the sun. And in the tropics, any way to avoid the heat is preferential. The morning hours are the coolest, making for the most comfortable exploring, especially if you aren't used to heat and humidity. Now, we'll cover the don'ts, things you should avoid or not forget to help keep your trip as seamless as possible. Don't gift marigolds or lilies. If you are presented with an opportunity to give gifts to an Ecuadorian, be aware that a few items are taboo. Flowers seem like an easy option for gift giving, whether it's a thank you for hosting a dinner party or a gift for a first date. It's a standard option for many. But make sure you never include marigolds or lilies in those beautiful bouquets. They're used at funerals and are associated with death. Probably not the best way to kick off a party or a date. Never gift knives or scissors. Staying on topic with gifting faux pas are knives or scissors. This might sound strange because many of us would probably love the gift of a fancy new knife. Ecuadorians read between the lines with gifts and apply meaning to specific items. Scissors and knives are seen as a symbol of a severed relationship. So unless you're looking to send a serious message about the end of a friendship or relationship, it's best to avoid these sharp objects. Don't use a cab if it isn't yellow with orange plates. Licensed taxi operators will be easily identifiable with the yellow car and orange plates. Most cab drivers are trying to make an honest living, but there are also a decent number of scammers out there. Make sure you provide a specific address or major cross streets when discussing your destination. And don't be surprised if a ride at night isn't metered. The laws are a bit lax in this area. Cab drivers must use the meter during day rides but aren't required to use them at night. If hailing a ride at night, agree on a flat fare before starting your ride. It will reduce the chance that you'll be taken along the scenic route that could end up more costly. Don't carry a large purse or backpack. If you're truly backpacking through the country, you won't be able to avoid lugging around a large backpack, but when possible, keep your personal belongings in a small purse or directly on your person. Large bags or backpacks make easy targets for thieves, as they can get in and out without the target even feeling that something is amiss. Don't drink tap water. This is true for much of Latin America and Mexico. The water is not potable, so always drink bottled water. Bottled water is widely available, so you don't need to worry about accessibility. Plan ahead when going out for day trips or exploring areas where you can't guarantee you'll find bottled water. Additionally, keep in mind that ice isn't always made from bottled water. Skip the ice in your drinks if you can't confirm it comes from filtered or bagged sources. One last tip is to use bottled water when brushing your teeth as well. Most gargle and spit foamy toothpaste water, but it is another opportunity for contaminated water to be ingested. If you drink some of the water, you could be in for a rough few days or even weeks, spending more time in the bathroom than exploring the country. Don't forget the sunscreen. Remember when we mentioned that Ecuador is in the equatorial region on Earth? That means you'll find yourself much closer to the sun, even when the temperatures don't feel blazing hot. Be consistent with your sunscreen use, even when it's cloudy, and don't forget to apply sunscreen on your feet. It's an often overlooked appendage and might result in pained walking for the majority of your trip. That's it for today's list. Did we miss something important? What's your favorite must-see attraction in Ecuador? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, please tap the like button before leaving and consider subscribing to our channel for more travel content. Enable notifications so you never miss an upload. And we'll see you next time.